Okay. What's your number 10?
My number 10 movie of 2018 is another performance that a lot of people, or features another performance a lot of people felt like should have been up for an Oscar. Ethan Hawke in Paul Schrader's First Reformed is my number 10 movie of 2018.
Yeah, that would definitely be on my list if Letterboxd had that sort set to 2018
Yeah,
instead
let
of
me look at the
2017.
releases. Oh, it played at the Venice Film Festival, and then Telluride, and then Toronto, and Lost. Yeah, it just played at a bunch of film festivals in
Got it.
2017.
Got it. Well, when we get to, have we already done 2017 on the podcast?
Nope, we have not.
So when we get to 2017, just keep an eye out. That'll definitely be on my list.
All right. So yeah, so my number nine is probably my favorite of the series, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, that movie is amazing and is much
Yeah.
higher, a little bit higher on my list, actually.
Oh, cool. Number eight is a film from South Korea starring Stephen Yoon. It's called Burning.
So it's not on my top 20, but it's just outside. That movie is so creepy.
Yeah, very, but it's really good. I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
Number seven is an anthology film from Joel and Ethan Coen. It's called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
It just misses my top 10. It's my number 11.
Ah, I love it. Also, I should say my number 11, since we're not doing past that, my number 11 is Hereditary,
Oh, okay, fair enough.
is where that landed.
It's my number 17.
Oh, nice. Okay. Number six for me is a film from Japan. It was a Best International Film nominated that year. It's called Shoplifters. It's absolutely
Never,
wonderful.
never did it.
Oh, you would really like it.
Great.
Number five for me is Avengers of Infinity War. Really like that one.
That's the best of the bunch, if you ask
Yep.
me.
Yep. I think you're right. I think it is. Number four is a film that I don't think a lot of people have seen. I don't know if I've ever talked about it with anyone, but it's a movie called Blind Spotting, with David Diggs and Raphael Castle are the two main stars. Have you heard of this movie or seen this movie?
We've talked about this movie in our private lives. It's number 14 on my list.
It is. Okay, cool. I couldn't remember if you'd seen it or not, but yeah, I really like that movie.
Very good. Raphael Castle, I wish he would do more stuff without David Diggs because he's awesome. And I only see him in stuff that David Diggs is also in, like The Good Lord Bird, which is a great miniseries starring Ethan Hawke.
Mm.
But they're both in it.
Oh, right. Number three is a movie we've mentioned several times on this podcast today is Roma.
That's my
And
number 20 on my top 20 list.
nice. Number two for me is The Favorite, which again we've also mentioned a couple of times,
Hmm.
the Yorgos Lanthimos.
Hmm.
And then my number one is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Cool. Great movie.
Yeah.
It also appears on my list. I'm just going to mention a couple honorable mentions. I'm going to mention Vice because I think people crap on that now and have kind of soured on Adam McKay, but I think Adam McKay's comedies are his like political comedies are very good.
I like Vice. My number 17.
It's my number 18. The Sisters Brothers, a movie with John C. Reilly and Joaquin Phoenix, directed by Jacques Audiard.
I liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. That's another one I saw on an airplane and was like, holy crap. That's my number 13. We mentioned some of these other ones. Tully. I really like Isle of Dogs came out that year.
Yep.
Another Joaquin Phoenix movie. Don't worry, he won't get far on foot.
Yep. I like that.
Love that a lot. That's just misses my top 10. So my top 10 are Leave No Trace.
Mm,
We mentioned it a bit earlier, the Thomasin McKenzie, Ben Foster movie directed by Deborah Granick about
really good. Yeah.
a guy and his daughter living in the woods, trying to stay off the grid. Number 9 is Women at War. I mentioned it before. It's about a woman who's like an eco-terrorist. It's an Icelandic movie. Really, really good. Number 8, excuse me, is Annihilation. We talked about this last week because a bunch of us are guests and I brought up Stalker, and Annihilation is quite similar to Stalker. Number 7 is The Favorite. Enough has been said about The Favorite. Number 6, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Great.
Number 5, Mission Impossible Fallout. Number 4, I'm going with Can You Ever Forgive Me, the movie that Melissa McCarthy was nominated for Best Actress for.
It's my number 19, but yeah, I really, really like it.
Incredible. Number 3, Avengers Infinity War. I think kind of by not like the widest margin, but because Endgame I like a lot too, and Thor Ragnarok I think is very good. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man No Way Home. Like there are a handful of MCU movies that I think are actually quite good. This one I think really stands out. Number 2 is mid-90s, and number 1 is, and I know it couldn't be on your list because you only gave me features, but my number 1 is Won't You Be My Neighbor. The Mr. Rogers documentary had me bawling on a date. I did not end up seeing her again, although it all worked out because I married a wonderful person. So less of a bummer in hindsight.
You certainly did. And I do have a separate list of documentaries from 2018, and that is my number one documentary of the year. So I share that love.
I think Won't You Be My Neighbor is not just one of the best documentaries, but maybe for me it's my favorite documentary ever made, but it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Incredible.
Yeah, the emotion. I mean, I remember seeing it, and almost from the very minute, like when he first just says, like when you first hear his voice, it just stirs up something in you. Just because I watched him as a kid, and it's just
Mhm.
there's just so much attached to just the sound of his voice, like "Hello neighbors" or like "Hello children." It's just like, oh my God, yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is. I'm curious, where is it on Letterboxd top 250
Mhm.
documentaries of all time? It is number 47, which I think is that's good. That's a good spot for it.
Top 50, yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, for sure. I've only seen, oh, number one is a movie we've talked about on this podcast. Stop Making Sense.
Oh yeah, great movie.